I've been asked about power stations on numerous occasions, but I've only ever owned the smaller ones. The ones you'd use for charging your phone, the little ones. I've talked to lots of people who own them and lots of people that were interested in owning one, but I've never used one of the larger ones. Until now. A massive thank you to AllPowers for letting us try out the R2500, which is a 2500 watt and 2016 watt-hour portable power station. Also the SP037, which is a 400 watt folding solar panel. Don't worry if those numbers make no sense. I'll explain what they mean and why they're important if you're looking for a power station solution, so you're all clued up. Let's find out how we got on, what we used it for, both home and away, including cooking, for doing a bit of DIY, as a home backup, as well as, of course, for charging things.
LeisureBit is the way to go with David, Rachel and Roxy. Let's hit the road and explore.
Let's get it out of the box. There's a handy little pouch, the AC cable that connects from the wall outlet into the R2500. There's warranty information and information on making the best use out of your power station. It comes with some nice densely packed foam, and there's also these strengthening parts in the box just to make sure the box doesn't collapse. So let's lift it out. There's carrying handles on the side so you can pick it up. It is portable, however, given what it packs inside, it's fairly heavy at 29 kilograms or just under 64 pounds. Where the R2500 comes into its own is what's inside and the power it provides. A power station is essentially a store of energy which you can charge up and then use at a later point when it's needed. You typically charge it from either AC main socket, solar, or another energy source. Compared to a fixed component install, inside this unit there's a 1.5 kilowatts mains charger, a 1 kilowatt solar controller, 2.5 kilowatts and 4 kilowatt surge pure sine wave inverter, a lithium iron phosphate battery. It also has 13 sockets, including 4 main sockets, 2 USB-C at 100 watt, 2 18 watt USB-As and 2 12 watt USB-As, so 4 USB-As in total. Little DC connectors and a DC socket, maximum 10 amps. You can also connect additional batteries to increase the storage capacity. Regarding the batteries this unit has, they are the more modern LiFePO4 or lithium iron phosphate, or sometimes called LFP, which are generally regarded as much safer than the older lithium ion and lithium polymer batteries, as they don't suffer from thermal runaway in the same way. The battery has a life cycle of around 3,500 charge and discharge cycles, so if you charged and discharged it every day, that should keep you going for about 10 years. Sorry, I didn't have time to test that. There are 2 principal operating modes. One is to use it as an uninterruptible power supply. This is where you have it plugged in constantly and have the equipment you want powered in the event of a power cut being connected to the power station. You can also be clever with that and connect the solar as well and save some energy. In UPS mode, it may be to ensure essential medical equipment, such as a CPAP machine, keeps running if the power goes off, or a computer where you wouldn't want to lose data in the event of a power cut. We live in a slightly rural area, and the mains to the properties fed by overhead lines. We do occasionally get power cuts. In the event of a mains failure, the power station switches over to supply the power from its batteries to the equipment. The R2500 does that really quickly, in under 15 milliseconds to keep things running, and for most things, that's perfect. You wouldn't even notice. The second operating mode is as a portable power station to power equipment when there isn't a handy power point, where you take the power station to where it's needed to provide the power. This could be in a vehicle such as a car, a van, a bus, a boat, a camper van, a motorhome, or a caravan, for example, and could provide alternative means for either temporary or more permanent power without the need to install a dedicated system. Let's talk about charging. There are 4 modes for charging. There is AC, solar, automatic and dual AC and solar. You can feed up to 1,000 watts solar into the unit, and the AC charger will supply up to 1500 watts in dual mode. This can deliver then up to 2.5 kilowatts or 2500 watts in dual AC and solar charging mode. With the solar charging alone at 1000 watts, the unit will be recharged in not much more than 2 hours. A 400 watt panel on a bright sunny day would take at least 5 hours to charge from empty. Let's take a look and see how we got on. Let's also get it plugged into the solar panel, give it a bit of charge from the sun. This is the SP037 and it's a 400 watt solar panel. The panel has these legs that just fold out, that holds it nice and solid. There's also some loops where you can strap it down to make sure it doesn't blow away. There's a handy bag here which holds all the bits and pieces in. Let's take a look at what we've got in here. So in the bag we get some instructions. We get a connector with some DC connectors. We get a number of these to fasten onto the holdings to fasten it down. Some little clamps there just to fasten any ties on. And we get a XP60 connector to the solar in that right there. And there's the output cables. The solar panel weighs in at around 19 kilos. It's relatively straightforward to set up. This model has 5 panels and is rated at 400 watts. Great to keep the power station topped up from the sun. Let's see what we got up to and how we got on with the power station. First thing I wanted to try out was the induction hob, so I made a bacon sandwich. That made a lovely tasty bacon sandwich and it used 10% of the capacity. So I suppose you could make 10 lots of bacon sandwiches if you wished. Hot dogs outside under a tree. So that's the hot dogs in.
Do you want hot dog?
The hot dogs are nearly ready. What do you think of that? Cooking the hot dogs has used 4% of the capacity. Next it was time to make some crispy chips in the air fryer. The sun was out, so why not charge while we cook? Let's grab the power station now the solar panel's set up. Then let's grab the air fryer, get it plugged in, we'll get it warmed up, ready for the chips. At this point the unit was pulling in about 270 watts from the solar panel. Not bad. When I started cooking the chips, the power station was at 99% and we ended up at 53% when the chips are fully cooked. So you can do chips in the air fryer. And it wasn't just me that ate all the chips. Love this post we got off George in the LeisureBit community Facebook group. Making toasties with the power station used 4% of the capacity. So we can use it for charging the e-bike battery on the 12 volt socket, and that's pulling 95 watts. You can use it for vacuuming the car. You can also use it for making a nice cup of coffee while messing on with a van. It came in really handy for power tools. So it won't run the pressure washer. First thing it hasn't though. Let's see if it'll run off the van, out of interest. So yes, it will run off the van. Unfortunately, not off the power bank. Probably need the next size up to run this. One of the more difficult things to run for inverters is inductive load, but it's managed to run that perfectly fine. Excellent.
What I'm really interested in is, does this power station allow me to dry my hair? Let's give it a go. This power station will allow me to straighten my hair. That's brilliant. Job done.
Next test, and it's one of the frequently asked questions I get, is can you use a power station with the auto changeover relay? Well, let's find out. So we've got this plug here running along here underneath, and then it's connected. You can see there that normally plugs into the van inverter, but we've just run it through now to the power station. We've got 75% capacity. So the question is, can I make my tea, which we're going to do in the microwave in the van, off the power station through the auto changeover? So we'll knock the AC power on there. There we go, as if by magic. So we're pulling out from there 1270 watts with the microwave on. After the 3 minutes, we're on 70%. We've now bobbed the sauce on, so let's whap it back in. It's back in. And away we go again. So that's the tea warmed up, and it used 10% of the capacity. So we've gone from 75 to 65%, and that's with 5.5 minutes with the microwave on. So it works, and it also works with the auto changeover to save the faff. You can, of course, just plug the power station straight into the van, and at the moment the charge is on, so that's consuming 125 watts as the battery's nearly fully charged in the van with all this sun we've been getting. So I've switched the water heater on 1 squiggle and the space heater on 2 squiggles, and we're drawing just over 2200 watts. Let's go and have a look and see how long it'll run for on that. We were at 100% when we switched this on. We're now at 84%, 36 minutes remaining, and that's with the heater and the water heater on. As you can probably gather, running off batteries for heating isn't particularly practical. That's why people have gas and diesel and other fuel-based heating systems. Maybe one day in the future it'd be possible, but for now, yes, you can run it, but you would get a short run time on it. I'm now going to switch off the space heater, and then we'll see how much consumption it takes on 1 squiggle on the hot water. We're at 76%, and it's now running at 730 watts, which will give us an hour and 40 before the battery's depleted. In that time though, the water will have heated up and it will have switched off. So we'll leave it running and see what percentage we're at when the water's fully heated. So we're now at 52% with the water heated up. Gives you a bit of a view of how much it uses, so you could potentially use it for warming your water up and also for running some stuff off the sockets. That's the power station plugged into the van's AC inlet. There's some useful information on the website. There's a link in the description to find out more. There were a few bits that were of particular interest. First one is, it comes with a 15-day price protection. They also offer a 15-day money-back guarantee. Really good, just to give you the confidence in the product. The power station comes with a 5-year warranty, 2-year on the solar panels, and the cables come with a 1-year warranty. You would expect, of course, the power station to last about 10 years and beyond if you look after it well. So we're now going to do some testing. So we've got the oscilloscope plugged in to check and see what the waveform and the voltage is like. Looks pretty good, but let's put it under some load now and see what happens. So now we've plugged the coffee machine in. Just want to check and make sure there's no waveform different when it's plugged in versus when it's not plugged in. Looks to be holding steady. So let's make a brew. That held nice and steady with the different load. You can see that it's warming up there and it's not really moved that. And if you notice, when it's switched off, it drops straight to 0 volts as well, which is good. Plugged it in now to charge, and it's just starting to build up the power. It ramps it up. We're at 800 watts, reading about 28 decibels with the fan on there, peaking out about 32, 33 decibels. So we'll now take a look at the AllPowers app, and for that we can either connect via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. We're going to actually connect via Bluetooth. We can see the power stations come up there, so we select it, and then that takes us into the settings. And what we can do from here, we can turn the AC on and off. You probably hear it click there. Turn it off, that back off there. You can see the oscilloscope as well kick in, back on, so keep an eye on the waveform there. And we can turn the DC on and off. You can see it there, but the light's gone off over that side. And then we'll turn the 12 volt off, so both of those now. So we've switched the outputs off. There's an option for 50 or 60 hertz. Because we're in the UK, we can use 50 hertz. And you can see the input and the output power there. What we can do as well is, if we go into the menu here, we can change the setting, and you've got mute mode. If we select that one, which quietens it down, we'll get the measure on that. So if we put it there, call it 28.5. So let's touch on the modes a moment. So we've got mute, which is the quieter mode and the slowest charge rate. This is great if you don't want the power station to make too much noise with the fans and just plod on charging up, but it still does a reasonable rate of charge. We've then got standard mode, which is kind of the mode in the middle. That seems to be pulling in about 1000 watts, which is pretty decent. And we'll just get a measure now of the sound level on that one. It's actually not much different. Maybe marginally louder, but I think the fan's probably running about the same speed at the moment as it was in mute mode. Maybe it was warmer from earlier. Let's pop it into fast mode. You can definitely hear that speed up. Yeah, we're probably looking between 33 and 36 decibels there in fast mode. You can see the charge starting to increment. You can also see it on the screen here, which is very handy. So when we're plugged in here as well, we can use it in UPS mode, as we touched on earlier. There's also an eco mode on here, which we can switch on. So that's quite handy if you want to specify it to stop after a certain amount of time. So we started pulling in a little bit more power now, just over 1500 watts. So the final test we're going to do is just going to have a quick look with the infrared camera and just see if we can see any hotspot. We'll just check around the side here. Just slightly warmer there. Just around here, that's coming in at about 32 degrees. That'll just be the display and the heat from that. A little bit there. 28.5 degrees, and coming out of this side at the fans, we're hitting about 33 degrees. A reference ambient temperature is about 23-24 degrees today.
So how did we get on with the AllPowers R2500? If you haven't figured out already, pretty well. I've been very pleased with it. I think it's a nice unit. But now to answer the question, is this the perfect size power station? Well, it depends what you want to use it for, obviously. But for me, yes, it probably is. I wanted something that has enough capacity so that I can run anything I need to run from it. Physical size, it's about the biggest size I can comfortably fit in this van. If you had a bigger van with more space, sure, you could go bigger. And it's about the heaviest for carrying around. Certainly for me, it is definitely worth checking though if you're thinking on getting one, to make sure you can lift 29 kilos. The handles are really comfortable though, so as long as you can lift that amount, you should be good. We've also gone through how much capacity you need and the fact of running things like heating's not massively practical. But if you want to do a bit of cooking, if you want to charge your battery, whatever it happens to be, comes in super handy for that. If you want to get a power station just for charging up your phone, it's probably a little bit over the top. But for what I've used it for, it's absolutely spot on. Thanks again to AllPowers for sending me this to give it a try. It's come in really useful. Don't forget to check out the link in the description where you can find a link to this at a fantastic price. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this useful, and I will catch you for the next bit. Bye!